wonder how your family felt about this. I think your father wasn't too happy that you were a contemporary dancer in Johannesburg.
Oh yes, no, definitely. You know, for a black tribe, certain things you can do. And in the early 70s, when I didn't tell my dad yet. I told my mom. I said, you know, I'm going to dance, and she said, what kind of a dancing? I said, well, it's a little bit strange one, but you know, I think I like it. So, and my dad didn't understand. You know, what is it that you're doing? You know, all this. What is it really? I said, well, it's dancing. And he said, no, that's not dancing. Dancing is, you know, what we do usually, like traditional dance. And, you know, it's normal. In our tribes, it's normal that, you know, people, you know, will oppose to what you're doing. You know, you have to stick to the traditional form. And I really felt that, you know, in order for me to survive and understand, you know, a different culture, I want to, you know, to learn about this other culture, which, you know, is not mine. And after a year, when I got my scholarship, I invited my parents to come to my graduation. And my father, he was, boy, you can move. You can move, you know. And he was so proud. And so it was a relief to see him, like, you know, being open about it after a while. But the process was a little bit, you know, difficult. And, you know, we didn't even get money to, you know, to get anywhere. So for me to be asking them the money to go to town, it was a huge issue. I mean, nevertheless, we didn't have money to eat sometimes, like maybe for 2 days. To ask them, like, you know, even like 5 rand, which is maybe $1, to go to town, it was a big issue, you know. So I managed to live at Sylvia's, my mentor's house for about 6 months, so that I can get more education. Because in South Africa, the educational system was very false, very, very false. So with Sylvia, it was an opportunity for me to learn more of you know, different cultures, and to learn more about myself, who I am, to learn more about different techniques of dances, and you know, a lot of reading, because I couldn't even speak English, you know. So that opportunity to live at a house, it was a great deal for me, and from then on, I just went on. I didn't want to stop.
You're using traditional material in your work. You perform a ritual in order to thank the ancestors for this work. Can you talk about how you started that and how you do that?
Every weekend at home, we'll do a ceremony to thank the ancestors, you know, for having us to, you know, to survive the whole week. And sometimes if someone was sick, you know, my auntie, my mother, my grandmother, and their great aunties, they will come to cure that person. So, and then every weekend we'll have a ceremony. And when I went to my professional dancing, having to see the importance of preservation of a culture, yet at the same time having to manage to move forward, you know, because you can't just be stuck at one point, and you can't just be nobody. You know, you have to be big, you have to know something about who you are, where you come from. So for me, to be having this ability to bring these cultures together in my work, you know, melting them in my body so that, you know, it just kind of like manifests itself. Every single year, at least, you know, twice a year, I have to practice the ceremony to thank the ancestors, to give it for the allowance, to give the allowance for me to borrow these, you know, different types of movements, even though some of them I might not know where they come from, because they just live inside my body. So for me to do that every single year is very important.